Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another sports betting video as of today. This is going to be for Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. A very small slate today. Very small slate, only 3 games. So I've only got 2 plays for you, but I'm very, very confident in these plays. I'm doubling my units on these, putting 2 units on it since there's only 3 games. Truthfully, at the time of recording this video, the lines for the Suns game is the Suns and the Blazers game. They only have the spread. Wasn't a huge fan of the spread. I feel like it's kind of a trap, so not going to touch that one. So I do have 2 plays in the other games though. But real quick, I did want to go ahead and just say thank you to you guys. As of today, we did just hit 300 subscribers, and not only that, but 5 days ago, just 5 days ago, we were only at 200 subscribers. So you guys have been amazing. You guys have shown me so much love and support. I never thought that I would ever get 300 subscribers, to be completely honest. I've been doing YouTube for a while, but it was the first time that I really locked in, and I'm definitely seeing results. So thank you guys so much for that. Once again, if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Let me know down in the comment section down below if you guys are tailing me, if you guys are fading me. A little bit of a rough day yesterday, so let's recap that one. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. I do apologize for that, but I just want to I just want to talk about it. First, we had the Cavs -4 versus the Heat. My favorite play of the day. I put 3.5 units on it, so I put a lot of money on this game, and I ended up cashing it. The Cavs ended up winning by like 17, or I don't know. It was by double digits. I remember that. They ended up winning that one. Next, we had Tyrese Maxey under 14.5 points. Joel Embiid decides that his stomach hurts or something, and he does get ruled out of the game. Doesn't end up playing in it. Tyrese Maxey has 14 points in the first half, and he was pretty much the only one that put the ball in the basket that night, because they only scored like 79 points or something. They scored a really low total, and Tyrese Maxey was the only guy that really scored. So that one was unfortunate. Then we also had Fred VanVleet over 3.5 threes versus Sacramento, our plus odds play of the day. That one also didn't cash because the Sacramento Kings ended up getting absolutely blown out by this Raptors team, and Fred VanVleet barely saw the floor in the third and fourth quarters. Nothing you can really do about that. He did have 2 in the first half, so I was honestly pretty excited for it, but it was a blowout at that point. And then Fred VanVleet just said, nah, I'm just going to rest for tomorrow's game tonight. So kind of unfortunate, but that one also didn't hit. Then we had the money line parlay. We had the Cavs that ended up cashing for us. We had the Warriors. This barely cashed for us. The Warriors only beat the Pacers by like 2 points, but it did end up cashing for us. And then the final leg of the parlay was the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, there couldn't have been a worse beat on it in a situation like this. There truly couldn't have been. I mean, you're looking at, it was a plus 205 parlay. Okay, so not anything too crazy, but plus 200 odds. Anything more than that is definitely a pretty good parlay. So I had the Cavs, obviously my favorite leg, cashed. I really like the Warriors, but then we had the Hawks. The Hawks were up by like 20 points at one point in time against the Houston Rockets, who aren't necessarily a very great team anyway. They've been red hot as of recently. I will admit that, but I figured that the Hawks would at least win. They were up by like 20. I was like, oh yeah, got this in the bag. I didn't even look at my like sports app until I got ready to, or until the game had already been over, and I looked at the score and I was like, oh my good lord. They ended up coming back from like 20, being down like 20 something. They came back and they actually won the game outright by 5 points. That's just such a tough beat. The Hawks were like minus 565 money line or something, so it was very juiced. The sports books had no idea that the Rockets were winning that game, not even a little bit. So unfortunately, that one did not cash. But it's a new day. It is Tuesday. You guys know how Mondays are. Mondays are never fun, and so unfortunately, this Monday was definitely not fun. So like I said, I have 2 plays. And I'm going to dive right into it. First one is going to be Julius Randle under 20.5 points, minus 105 versus the Golden State Warriors. Now let's be completely real here. Julius Randle has been really off this year. Hasn't really been a very great basketball player to say the least, and he hasn't hit this over in his last 4. Now I know that's nothing too crazy, but in his last 4 games he has not scored 21 or more points. So hasn't hit that over. And then also Golden State, they give up the 8th fewest points per game to opposing power forwards. We all know Draymond Green is a very good defensive player, so the fact that he is going to be on Julius Randle is going to be a tough matchup for him anyway. And then also Golden State has the best defense in the entire NBA. So I do think that Julius Randle is going to start getting things going. I do think he's going to start putting up some big games, but I just don't think it's going to be against the best defensive team in the NBA. And then also the Warriors give up only 40 paint points per game, which ranks as second in the NBA. So we all know Julius Randle. He can stretch the floor if he needs to, but where he does most of his work is going to be inside the paint. It's going to be back to the basket, little hook shots, little layups, bodying people down low, stuff like that. And the Golden State Warriors don't allow a lot of that to go on. So that is going to be my first play of the day. Julius Randle under 20.5 points, minus 105 odds versus the Golden State Warriors. I'm very confident in that one, so I really like that play a lot. For our last play of the day, we do have Kevin Durant under 2.5 threes versus the Toronto Raptors, minus 165 odds. A little bit juiced, like I said, but I'm here to provide winners. We had a rough day yesterday. We're trying to make some money back. We're trying to get some of those units back, especially on all those tough losses. So we just got to take the ones that I think are going to be absolute money. So Kevin Durant has hit on like 3 or more threes, so basically just hit the over in only 2 of his last 12 games. So Kevin Durant has not really been shooting the 3 ball like at all. He just hasn't really been shooting it very much. He's been more so on the interior, and he just hasn't really been shooting much, and when he has been, it hasn't really been necessarily efficient. Of course, he did just put up a 51-point game. So with that being said, of course, he hit a decent amount of threes in that game. But in all the rest of them, he's only hit the over in just 2 of the last 12. And then also Toronto, in the last 3 games, they've decided to really lock down on the three-point shot, not let a lot of people shoot them. So they have, in their last 3, they've given up the 8th fewest threes in the entire NBA. So you're looking at a top 10 team when it comes to defense on the three-point line. So I just think it's going to be a very tough matchup for Kevin Durant. I do think he'll probably be guarded by Scotty Barnes, which is going to be very, very tough. I do think that if OG Anunoby was back, it would make things a little bit more difficult for Kevin Durant, but I do think that Scotty Barnes can hold his own for sure. And then, as I said before, Kevin Durant is a very skilled interior player. He likes to get a lot of his points in the mid-range area, dribble pull-ups, and even like getting to the basket and finishing over people, since he is absolutely massive and his wingspan is like 1,000 feet. So because of that, he does like to get a lot of his points in the interior. And the way that they run plays on Brooklyn, he kind of just runs around, and then James Harden does everything around the three-point line, and then they dish it inside to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant kind of does his thing from the mid-range, and that's how they score. So not a whole lot of threes are really attempted when it comes to Kevin Durant on the Brooklyn Nets. So that is going to be my final play of the day. Kevin Durant under 2.5 threes versus the Toronto Raptors. I'm sorry that there was only 2 plays. I tried to get one for the 3rd game, but there just wasn't any lines up yet. They don't even have an over-under yet at the time of recording this video. But if you guys do follow my Twitter, I may go ahead and throw in a 3rd official play. But we just got to win some units back. We got to win some units back. We started off the week a little rough, so this is where we turn things around. This is where we really get things going. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. But for now, this is King Standard signing out. Peace.